Hi, hello, howdy. I have been feeling creatively unfulfilled and anxious and depressed and a little both overwhelmed and underwhelmed. So I thought it would be fun for me to talk about some food I like to cook and focus on pasta. It's a comfort food for me. I'm half Italian, so I grew up eating a lot of it. Plus, I've been consuming The Sopranos at a concerning rate, and seeing them eat all that pasta has really made me crave it. So I wanted to share one of my favorite pasta recipes that is from Napoli, like Tony Soprano's family, and it's called Puttanesca, which literally translates to whore's pasta. So that's fun. Let me show you the ingredients. I'm a professional, so I put them on a cutting board. We've got Kalamata olives. You can use black olives, green olives. I like Kalamata personally the best. We've got some diced up anchovy. Don't get freaked out by it. Trust me, it's really good. Capers, garlic cloves. I probably chopped a lot more than they asked for, but I consider garlic in recipes to be a suggestion, and I can add as much as I want. And some fresh parsley, which we'll put at the end. We've got some diced tomatoes. The pasta I have here is rigatoni. I think a penne, a farfalle, anything that's kind of short and can soak up this sauce, which is a little bit thicker, is good. If you like really saucy pastas, you could use a spaghetti or something linguine, but you probably want to add a little bit more tomato sauce just to get that consistency. And then we also have red chili peppers, just to add a little bit of spice. So I got the water boiling over here. We're gonna start, turn this on with the olive oil. Bloop, 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 bloop. Oh God. It's on. It's on. So we're gonna start heating this up a little bit. And then the first thing we're gonna put in is the anchovy fillets, which I know might freak some people out, but I promise that this is not a fishy tasting pasta. The anchovies really just add this depth of flavor that adds a little bit of brine and umami to the sauce. Kind of like in a Caesar salad, you're not gonna taste fishiness. If you don't eat meat or fish, you could add a little bit more brine from the olives or capers to get a little bit more of that taste. I also saw that some people use seaweed powder as a substitute for the anchovies, which I've never tried, but I'd like to. And if you don't add the anchovies, it's still delicious. I just think they add a special flavor to it. So yeah, we're gonna put those in, and the anchovies are actually gonna kind of melt down, so you're not even gonna really see any consistency of anchovies in it. So we're gonna let that cook for a little bit until they melt down. You just use the filet anchovies that come in olive oil. I'm looking down at my ingredients down here, all from Trader Joe's or Trader Giotto's, as they call their Italian section. So, as I said earlier, this literally translates to whore's pasta, which might beg the question, why? Why would it be called that? And to that I'd say, we don't really know. There's a lot of origin stories for the reasoning behind this pasta. I've heard anything from it was the pasta that sex workers would make for their customers because it's easy to make. It also has a very savory smell that lures people in because it smells so good. I've also heard that people called it that because it's kind of just what they threw together in the kitchen, and they compared that to a human sex worker because misogyny. And I've also heard that the fact that it has anchovies in it is of course linked to sex work and vaginas. because again, people are really gross. And in fact, this is not the only Italian sauce I know that references that. There's also pasta cornetto, which is butter and parmesan, and cornetto is also a derogatory word that means a slut or a bitch or a whore. So I promise you that Italian cuisine has very weird names associated with it. So these anchovies are melting down pretty nice. We're gonna add the garlic. We're gonna turn down the heat because we don't want the garlic to burn. Okay, so I like to use diced tomatoes because I like a sauce that's a little bit chunkier and not too saucy. Right now I'm massaging the tomatoes so they get a little bit more incorporated into the liquid. And I don't know if it's the fact that I live alone and it's quarantine, but there's something very erotic about this, and I don't know why I admitted that, but I just want to be vulnerable with you guys on here and just let you know that squishing these tomatoes is, I don't know, it's making me feel something. So there's that thought from me to you. Oh my god. You know, I've been watching a lot of Sopranos and other media because currently my mental health and mind are kind of like a putrid swamp, and I just get all these thoughts unfiltered. So being on camera in a video, I just say whatever comes to mind. So yeah. Okay, now we're gonna add these tomatoes, the olives, the capers. We're gonna let those all hang out together. And I'm not gonna add any salt or anything because between the capers, which are in a brine, the Kalamata olives, which are also in a brine, I'm gonna wait till the end to see if it needs any salt, because this is definitely a dish that if you're not careful can get a very, very salty. And that's one of the things I like about it, but obviously not too much so. Okay, we got the water boiling. So we're gonna throw the pasta in. All right. And I am gonna throw a little bit of salt in the pasta water just because it's not gonna affect the overall saltiness of the dish too much. It's just gonna give a little bit of flavor to the pasta. I also heard growing up that it makes the water boil faster. I don't know if that's true, but it's just kind of a habit for me at this point. So yeah, I'm gonna let those in their little hot tub so they get al dente, which Italian fun fact, al dente means to the tooth. So when you bite into it, it should, you know, have a little bit of give. That way you know it's not too mushy. And luckily this is a pasta that actually keeps pretty well. In fact, sometimes it even tastes better the next day because it has the sauce. The sauce is able to marinate into the pasta a little bit more, because some pasta, like carbonara, which is egg-based, you really have to eat it fresh because it just tends to clump together with some pasta dishes. And if I'm not too ashamed of this video and I actually post it, I'm planning on trying some new pasta recipes that I haven't really tried. just because I think it would be fun. And as somebody who lives alone and gets depressed and gets really hard about cooking, I think just easy meals like this that feel fancy but really just require getting the ingredients and a little bit of chopping are really nice to have in your back pocket for comfort food and just something to throw together. And I will say that I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, but I'm the kind of person that has a lot of self-doubt and a lot of perfectionism. And so I don't do creative things that I want to do because I think, what's the point? Who's going to care about watching this? I'm not adding anything to anybody. Why would people want to hear what I have to say about fucking pasta with my shitty camera abilities and awkward persona? And then I think, you know, there is so little to look forward to right now. And if this is something that gets me cooking and gets me to eat a fucking meal and like stay out of the haunted house of my mind for a little bit and make dumb jokes and show good food to my friends, then I should just do it and just stop being so consumed by self-doubt and perfectionism. And so this is a good exercise for me in that. And anybody who watches this, I appreciate it because you're helping me work through those things. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of chili pepper now. Obviously this is up to your taste. My mom doesn't really like spicy food, so she never added a lot growing up, but I like a good amount of kick, so I'm gonna add a good amount. And we're just gonna let that incorporate in there. Pasta's probably not ready, but let's see. You know, it's weird, but maybe it's just because I grew up around so much Italian food, but sometimes I can tell the pasta's done just by smelling it. And I know that sounds like so made up and not real, but I swear when the pasta's cooked, it gets this like starchy smell that is like so particular that I don't even really always have to check, you know. And I always do the like bouncing spoon. I mean, you can feel if the texture's there or not. They still need more time. They're still soaking, making out with each other in the hot tub. Hopefully not contracting anything from each other. The sauce is going good though. And this is on like a medium heat right now because again, you're just kind of warming everything up. I mean, it's not like there's any protein or anything in here that actually needs to like thoroughly cook itself, which is another nice thing about this. And you can add onions or other vegetables to it, certainly, if you wanted. But I kind of like it just the traditional way. And I'm a really messy cook, so, I mean, there's splatter everywhere here. And I'm wearing a white shirt, so I'm sure that's gonna end really, really well for me. That's good, dude. I know, it's like, my sense of accomplishment is just so low right now, but I don't mind that. I mean, I celebrate taking out the recycling and cooking a meal because it is so fucking hard right now. So I think I need to celebrate that. I'm also, tonight, I'm watching Glitter for the first time with Mariah Carey. I'm just really treating myself, having one of my favorite comfort foods, watching one of my favorite divas in a movie from the 2000s. I mean, it's gonna be cold as tits this whole weekend, so I'm really just preparing to hunker down and have some like good media and tasty food to keep me company. Okay, let's check these rigatoni again. And I did call my mom to confirm this recipe because she is the ultimate master at cooking. Her and my dad are both great cooks, but my mom's definitely the pasta master. I know this is gonna freak people out, but like I worked in restaurants for a long time, so I just don't really have a lot of like feeling left in my fingers and hands, like with hot things. Yeah, still needs time. A little too hard. And I'm just stirring the sauce just to like make sure nothing sticks to the pan, but and if you guys have any pasta recipes you like or want to share, like, please do, because I mostly know Southern Italian food dishes. So like I said, this dish I believe originates in Naples. My family's from Puglia, which is like on the other side, both south. Naples is kind of south, never eat, try to eat west, and Puglia is southeast. So kind of similar. A lot of tomatoes, a lot of peppers, olives, olive oil, sort of that, more the classic Mediterranean that you might think of. But I have family in northern Italy, and they have a lot more stuff that's inspired by like French and German and Swiss food, so that's fun too. And I definitely want to challenge myself to like make fresh pasta. That would be fun because I've only really made ravioli with my family. I've never made anything with like the actual pasta press, so that could be a fun thing to challenge myself to do. And you guys can watch me like inevitably probably have some really messed up looking pasta, and maybe I'll create a whole new pasta name, because pasta names are really based off like cute little things. Like farfalle is butterfly, the little bow ties, and orecchietti are like little ears. So I could create this new shape and then just choose an Italian word and create my own pasta. So that'd be pretty fucking sweet. Okay, we're gonna turn this down a little bit because it's getting a little loud and sassy in here. Like, I sound so like I live alone so hard, but like I can just tell that this sauce like is telling me to calm it down, you know? I can just sense that by looking at it. Like I have this like sixth sense, like I'm this like great cook or something. I'm not. I honestly cook a lot based off instinct, a lot of what my parents make, and a lot of what my dad calls alla alla, where you just kind of like throw shit together and like hope for the best. Like I love to eat, and so I know food combos that I like. So like most of my food, like following this recipe is not like me. I usually just kind of throw stuff together and like, yeah, let's hope it works. Plus it's just me eating it. So ultimately if it is a fail, like I'm the one who's gonna suffer those consequences. Okay, how you doing, little dude? You ready to be incorporated into this sauce? Yeah, I think it's good. Okay, we're gonna turn her off. We're gonna leave her going because we're gonna throw the pasta in there. I mean, you always want to throw, I would say it's much better to put the pasta into the saucepan that you're already cooking, because it's just gonna marinate that sauce so much more than if you put the sauce on the pasta, is generally the rule, I would say. So we're gonna dump this over, and we're not using tabs, so we're just gonna hope that our sleeves are enough for how freaking hot this pot is, after I just told you like, oh, I don't have any feelings in my hands from heat, and then this pan was like, really, Maria? Like, you're telling me you don't have any nerves for heat in your hands? Like, you obviously do, which is why this is too freaking hot for you. And of course, I stubbornly didn't put a strainer out here because I'm like the least professional cook ever. So I'm just slowly pouring it out. Okay. Ah, it's too hot. It's too hot, everybody. It's too hot. And in the end, it didn't even matter because I already kind of burned my fingertips. Whatever. Okay. All right, we're gonna throw these little rigatonis up in the sauce. Okay, and then we're gonna mix her up. And I mean, this is one serving for me. It might be considered 2 servings, but I am really hungry and I love pasta, so I can eat quite a bit of it. Oh my god, one of these rigatonis just like jumped ship. And I'm sure you just heard it hit my floor, so there's one less participant in this party. Okay. Now we're gonna let it sit for a bit, just to let it soak stuff up. And I mean, if you want, you could definitely put cheese on this, like a Parmesan or a pecorino or something like that. I usually don't because it's already pretty salty. So, I mean, if you cut down the salt and some of the other things, cheese might be good. Or if you get a cheese that's like not super salty, I would totally encourage that. But it's already pretty salty as is. So traditionally, you don't usually see cheese with this one. Okay, so, oh my god, I almost stepped on the pasta that dropped on the floor. Cool. Okay, let's plate this up. Okay. Ladle. Okay. Okay, I did not think this through. Because obviously you want like something that has like everything on it. You know, you want something with the capers, the olives, the tomatoes. You know, you don't want just something with like just pasta. Like you want everything in there that you so lovingly marry together. I would say this was a little bit of chaotic babysitting. I don't know if I would say that this dish is a dish of love. I would say this is a dish of like really, really wanting to impress a first date, but also just maybe oversharing. There's a little bit of neglect in this, but you know, it's still gonna taste good. Okay, let me grab you and show you what we're working with here, because like I'm sure you could not see frickin' anything there. Okay, cool. All right, flip around. Okay. Wow, so I don't know how to flip on this, so that's like super cool. So this is what we're working with. How's that angle? Probably horrible. We're gonna put some fresh parsley on there because that's what I like. I don't mind if it's chunky. You know, some people might want to like tear that up a little bit more, but I think we did a good job. Who knows if I'll post this, but either way, thank you for watching. I am gonna, you know, wait, I should take a bite. Like I should show you the job I did. I mean, you're not gonna be able to taste it, but like, I promise you I will give you my genuine reaction. Yeah, good. Please make this if you're interested. You'll probably do a cleaner job than me, but you'll enjoy it. Okay, bye.